advice, no, sorry. The diet advice that people think is the best, the ones that I always get the most positive comments from, because most people are pussies, is when I specifically say, the best diet is not about removing things, it's just about adding healthy things in. So why don't you just have like a nice healthy thing, added into your diet? That's bullshit. The best way for you to improve your health and testosterone with your diet? It's not to just add something healthy in. It's to take out the thing that's destroying your health first, that you're currently addicted to, that you've been so manipulated by their marketing that even though it would be good for you to follow this advice, you're going to argue for that company instead of for your own health. I'm telling you something that will improve your health to get unflavored protein powder, the specific kind that I've got, which is 1 ingredient, and you're thinking to yourself like, oh, but it wouldn't taste as good as my salted caramel protein powder. But I've got to have some pre-workout. Who cares if it's got some sucralose or some stevia or some other bullshit chemicals that they've put in there? Oh, but I've got to have some protein bars every now and then. Who cares if it's wrapped in plastics and it's only got 1 gram of sugar, Hamza? Look at the ingredient list. One of the easiest ways for you, a simple way, like a simple step-by-step process for you. Eat food which is 1 ingredient. Eat 1 ingredient food. That's it, just 1 ingredient. Go and look at how many ingredients are inside of your pre-workout, your protein powder, this little pre-packaged little, this bar of like fucking fiber bar. It's got like, 4 grams of fiber. Look at the ingredients in there. It's disgusting. It's got fiber. It's got protein. These things are useless if your body's literally getting harmed by the things that you eat. And trust me when I say not just your body and your testosterone, your brain. Please trust me, even though this sounds offensive, you are a lot stupider than you should be. Like, you should be a lot smarter than you actually are. Imagine how much that would change your life if your brain was literally just 20% sharper. Imagine that would genuinely be worth, over your life, genuinely over $1 million, right? If your brain was 20% better, because it's not just, linear that, okay, you'd get 20% more results. If your brain was 20% better, you would get compounding more results because suddenly you'd be even like an exponential amount of your competition in everything, right? In your grades, in everything. It's not just that your grades would go up by 20%, because if your brain was better by 20%, if you imagine like the bell curve of intelligence, you would genuinely not just get 20% higher grades, you'd probably get like a fucking 60% higher, like double as good. You'd suddenly get to like the student who's genuinely getting A's or whatever the metric is for grades these days. I think it's like 10 or whatever. Or in your business, suddenly you'd beat so much more of your competition. You wouldn't just make 20% more money, you'd make like 300% more if your brain was more like better, right? You understand that, right? Eating these processed foods that these companies have genuinely made in labs, it harms your brain because your gut and your brain are connected together. So when you eat, your gut sends, it's very complicated, and I certainly don't know like enough about this to teach you. That's why I'll just go over this very quickly. But it's kind of like your gut is like a second brain inside of your body, and it really is affected by the things that you eat, to the point that if you eat something which is not good for you, it will genuinely, because of its connection to the brain, it will genuinely like make your brain worse. This is why there's certain things you can eat that will make your brain better. Blueberries are a great example of that. Why would you sacrifice not just your health, your testosterone, and also your brain power, and therefore money, to eat these things that are kind of nice? Because you know how self-improvement works by now. You know that the first few weeks of getting into the habit of something is kind of difficult. But then after that, it kind of gets naturalized, right? So with the gym, the first few gym workouts, when you imagine literally the moment before you ever went to the gym, it was kind of this daunting experience. Like, imagine the first workout. It's a daunting experience of like what to do. Are you going to be laughed at? All these like mental like things you've got to think through. Now it's just like, okay, well, what am I going to wear? Which workout is it? Okay, sweet. You know where the machines are. You know how to safely do the exercises, right? It's the same thing transitioning into eating clean. It seems so like scary and so sad to switch over from like, let's say, the salted caramel protein powder to like the organic 1 ingredient one, which doesn't really have a taste, right? It seems kind of sad, but then now it's like, it's just like me going to the gym. It's like, I'll have that protein shake and it's like, yeah, It's the one that I have every single day. I know how to make it. Yeah, yeah. I actually kind of like the taste now. You'll adjust to it over time, just like you have with every other self-improvement habit you got into. And then you're like, if you imagine yourself as that top tier, like young athlete, healthy guy who's genuinely literally not even having flavored protein powder because even that's too unhealthy for you. That is like, that's a fucking beautiful level, bro. That's a really good level to get to.